Hello, Mr. Fanny. First, I would like to apologize because I could not attend the presentation last Monday due to health reasons. Because of that, I made this video as my individual explanation of our group presentation. In this video, I will explain our material about independent and dependent clause. This topic is about two kinds of clauses in English and the main difference between independent clause and dependent clause. Okay, this presentation was made by Group 7 from class G667. My name is Devi Lufy Alfisha Azara. My last NPM number is 291. Because I could not join the presentation directly last Monday, in this video I will explain the material by myself. In this slide, I will explain about independent clause. An independent clause is a group of words that has a subject, a verb, and a complete meaning. It means this clause can stand alone as a sentence because the idea is already clear. The characteristics of an independent clause are it has a subject, it has a verb or predicate, it has complete meaning, and it can stand alone as a sentence. So, the important point is when a clause already gives a full idea, it is called an independent clause. Okay, next slide. The function of independent clause. The function of an independent clause is to express the main idea of a sentence. It becomes the most important part because it gives the main information. Even if there is no other clause, the sentence can still be understood. So, an independent clause functions as the main clause that carries the complete message of a sentence. Okay, next, structure or formula of independent clause. The basic structure of an independent clause is subject plus verb plus complete meaning. An independent clause must have at least a subject and a verb, but sometimes it can also have an object, complement, or adverb. The first example is I sleep. This follows the pattern subject plus verb. The second example is she reads a book. This follows the pattern subject plus verb plus object. The third example is he is happy. This follows the pattern subject plus verb plus complement because happy explains the subject. The fourth example is they study at school. This follows the pattern subject plus verb plus adverb because at school gives information about place. So, the key point is not only the structure, but also the complete meaning. If the clause has a subject, a verb, and a complete idea, it can be called an independent clause. Okay, next slide, I will explain dependent clause. Next, about dependent clause. A dependent clause is a group of words that has a subject and a verb, but the meaning is not complete. A dependent clause cannot stand alone as a sentence because the idea is unfinished or incomplete. The characteristics of a dependent clause are it has a subject and a verb. Second, it cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. Third, it needs an independent clause to complete the meaning. Fourth, it often begins with a conjunction or a dependent. Okay, next slide, the function of dependent clause. The function of a dependent clause is to give extra information in a sentence. A dependent clause cannot stand alone because the meaning is not complete. It needs an independent clause to make a complete sentence. Next, structure or formula of dependent clause. The basic structure of a dependent clause is dependent marker plus subject plus verb. A dependent marker is a word that usually starts a dependent clause. Examples are because, when, after, before, although, if, since, and while. For example, because I was tired. Because is the dependent marker, I is the subject, and was tired is the verb or predicate. Another example is when she arrived. When is the dependent marker, she is the subject, and arrive is the verb. The third example is although he was sick. Although is the dependent marker, he is the subject, and was sick is the verb or predicate. The fourth example is if they study hard. If is the dependent marker, they is the subject, and study is the verb. So the formula is quite simple, but we have to remember that a dependent clause still needs an independent clause because the meaning is not complete yet. Okay, next I will talk about types of dependent clause. There are three types of dependent clause: adverb clause, adjective clause, and noun clause. The first type is adverb clause. An adverb clause gives information about time, reason, condition, place, or contrast. The example is, she went to the market yesterday after she visited her uncle's house in the town. The dependent clause is after she visits her uncle's house in the town. It is an adverb clause because it gives information about time. It explains when she went to the market. The second type is adjective clause. An adjective clause explains or describes a noun. The example is, the man who is cooking lunch is my father. The dependent clause is who is cooking lunch. It is an adjective clause because it explains the noun, the man. It gives more information about which man is being talked about. The third type is noun clause. A noun clause functions as a noun. It can be used as a subject or object in a sentence. The example is, he didn't know what made his brother go away from his house a week ago. The dependent clause is what made his brother go away from his house a week ago. It is a noun clause because it functions as the object of the verb now. It answers the question, what did he not know? So, these three types have different functions. Adverb clause gives extra information. Adjective clause describes a noun, and noun clause function as a noun. Okay, after explaining the theory, this part is the analysis. The sentences these sections are taken from The Secret Garden by Frances Hudson Burnett. The purpose of this analysis is to identify which part of the sentence is the dependent clause and which part is the independent clause. Okay, the first sentence is, because she had been ill, Mary stayed inside the house for many days. The dependent clause is because she had been ill. It is dependent because it starts with because and the meaning is not complete if it stands alone. If we only say because she had been ill, the listener will still need more information, right? And the independent clause is Mary stayed inside the house for many days. This part can stand alone because the meaning is complete. It tells us what Mary did. So the dependent clause gives the reason and the independent clause gives the main idea. The second sentence is, Mary looked around because she heard a strange sound in the corridor. The independent clause is Mary looked around. This part is complete and can stand alone. The dependent clause is because she heard a strange sound in the corridor. This clause explains the reason why Mary looked around. So, in the sentence, the independent clause gives the main action and the dependent clause gives the reason. Okay, the next sentence is, when she heard the bird singing, Mary stopped walking. The dependent clause is when she heard the bird singing. It starts with when, so it gives information about time. It explains when Mary stopped walking. The independent clause is Mary stopped walking. This part is the main idea and can stand alone as a complete sentence. The last sentence is, because the corridor was dark, Mary carried a candle. The dependent clause is because the corridor was dark. This clause gives the reason. It explains why Mary carried a candle. The independent clause is Mary carried a candle. This part can stand alone and gives the main information. From these examples, we can see that dependent clauses usually give extra information, while independent clauses give the main idea of the sentence. So, that is my explanation about independent and dependent clause. In conclusion, an independent clause can stand alone because it has a complete meaning, while a dependent clause cannot stand alone because the meaning is incomplete. Once again, I apologize for not being able to join the presentation last Monday because I was sick. Thank you for your time and your attention, Mr. Fani. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.